And now Super Bowl 27, the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, architecturally inspired by the Yale Bowl in New Haven, Connecticut 70 years ago. The scene, 102,000 to see if it'll be Buffalo Bills trying to deny that 3 losses in a row, or will the young Dallas Cowboys win another for the NFC? Hello, everyone. I'm Dick Enberg with Bob Trumpy. 10 years in the NFL, 4 times an All-Pro tight end with the Cincinnati Bengals. We've heard it inside and out, players, coaches, strategies. How about dipping down into that full bucket and give me a couple of things I can hang on to?
Well, I think to keep it simple, let's look at the Dallas offense. The most important thing for the Dallas offense today is to protect Troy Aikman. You know that Buffalo's going to try to get Bruce Smith in Troy Aikman's face. They've got to protect him. For Buffalo's offense, I think they've got to be patient. Jim Kelly likes the home run. He's got to hold back on that home run. Be patient. And, of course, for the 2 defenses, there's no question. Dallas has got to stop Thurman Thomas, and Buffalo has got to stop Emmett Smith. No denying that.
You sound like a coach. Marv Levy and Jimmy Johnson both said, hey, we cannot win this Super Bowl game by passing alone. We must be able to run. You turn that around, that means the challenge to the defense, stop Smith or stop Thomas. What else might we look for as we anticipate the start of this game? You've been in many locker rooms and many tunnels. What are they feeling right now?
Dick, this is the most difficult part of professional football. It's been a long day for these guys. What you're trying to do is control emotion, so it explodes on the field, but you're asking yourself, am I up? Am I 2 up? Am I down? Am I 2 down? How do I feel physically? You're looking around for help. There's some prayers going on. It's very quiet in there. But I must tell you, for these 2 football teams, even though it's hell, there's no place you'd rather be.
What a scene and what a glorious day in Southern California. The setting is perfect. The conditions ideal for play and for the fans. And will this be the year where we have that dramatic finish in a Super Bowl? The odds makers say no, that Dallas will win by a touchdown. Lynn Elliott will kick it off. 2 men have returned kickoffs for touchdowns. Fulton Walker did it right here 10 years ago against the Redskins, and Stanford Jennings in Miami against the San Francisco 49ers. Brad Lamb from Anderson, Indiana College is one of the deep return men for Buffalo. 49-year-old Jimmy Johnson, what he has done in 4 years in Big D, from 1-15 to the Super Bowl. With Brad Lamb is Kenneth Davis deep. Chapter 1 begins. Lamb fighting the sun. It is 3:30 West Coast time, and Buffalo will open at the 20. Jim Kelly, the quarterback. The fast break football offense, the no huddle, the K-gun they call it in Buffalo.
Well, we're going to find out quick what Dallas plans to do with this hurry-up offense. They normally use 18 or 19 guys defensively, 6 or 7 defensive backs, and they're starting with the nickel. Gant will replace the middle linebacker, Robert Jones, so they're starting with nickel coverage here against this hurry-up offense of Buffalo.
Referee Dick Hantak is announcing to the Rose Bowl audience that the 25-second clock is not operative, but the 45-second clock is, so we'll be able to stay with the rhythm of this game as dictated by rules. And here we go. You said they might be patient early. Let's watch Buffalo. Dennis Bird, remembered by some of his friends in that offensive line. Buffalo. Wide open, Andre Reed. And the all-time receiver in Buffalo history, Reed, gets 14 yards.
Well, first play of the Super Bowl, they empty the backfield. That means single coverage. Reed does an excellent job of getting away from the bump and run for a nice first down pickup.
Ken Norton made the tackle. Thurman Thomas stumbles for 2. Norton again the tackler. Number 51, Ken Norton, the son of the former heavyweight champion Ken Norton, has been a 60-minute player, a whistle player. He plays from the start to the end of every play and plays all 60 minutes.
He's also on special teams.
2nd down and 8. Kelly, the hurry up. Thomas, a screen in the flat. Ooh, tripped up just as he had an open field at the 42, shy of the first down. Larry Brown from the right corner made the stop.
Dick, Miami saw that play in the championship game down in Miami, and it drove them nuts. It's the read screen. They're telling the defense, you do what you want. We'll throw it to either the wide receiver or Thurman Thomas on the screen.
Third down, a short 3. Kelly. Russell, Maryland can't take him, but coming up from the secondary to make a big hit. Number 27, Thomas Everett, a former Steeler.
They emptied the backfield again, trying to get Andre Reed in single coverage on Gant. Maryland, not normally a very quick defensive tackle. He's in there for the run. Excellent job of running down Kelly.
A sack and a loss of a couple. So in to punt is Chris Moore. Kmart, they call him. Kelvin Martin back at the Cowboy 20. He has returned 2 for touchdowns this year from the 14. And Steve Tasker, who else? The feisty little wide receiver for Buffalo, got his hands on Kmart first. A 45-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. A timeout. Dallas with the ball when we return. Troy Aikman shifts his tight end Novacek. Johnston, the blocking back in motion, and Aikman comes out throwing. Emmett Smith in the flat. Oh, is he greeted? No gain. Coming up to make the stop, Marcus Patton, whose mother was a linebacker herself. The playing days some 20 years ago.
Yeah, but she used to play her games at Long Beach City College. The Rose Bowl's a little different. As you watch this play, look at the corners on Buffalo up in bump and run. Outlet receiver. Of course, in the NFC Championship game, San Francisco played off, and Dallas threw and threw very well. Buffalo is trying to put pressure up there on the receivers to get Bruce Smith in Troy Aikman's face as best they can.
You don't see many open field tacklers get Smith down on one hit. Breaks a tackle there, but there's plenty of support. Again, no gain. Bruce Smith slowed him down, and then Talley and Kelso collaborated on the stop.
Dick, Buffalo believes that their run defense is stout enough that they can handle Emmett Smith, and what they want to try to do is bounce him to the outside. You see an excellent job of the Buffalo interior defensive lineman just standing their ground. And Emmett Smith needs movement so he can decide where he can run the ball.
Give him a yard gain. It's 3rd and 9 into the eyes of Darryl Talley. Aikman over the head of Michael Irvin out at the 35. Dallas 3 and out.
Smith on 2, and it's a big matchup for Dallas and the Buffalo Bills, and we saw some players in warm-up having some footing problems. Bruce Smith slips there.
Mike Saxon to punt. He averaged 43 yards a kick on the season, his longest 58. And there's Clifford Hicks back at the 38. Partially blocked, and it goes out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Steve Tasker. Oh my. Tasker, the first man that Marv Levy acquired when he became the coach of the Bills 7 years ago.
Dick, watch what happens. He comes over here, and once the count is done by the punt team of the Dallas Cowboys, now he ruins their numbers. He gets up inside, and really there's not a lot of help for the guy that's supposed to block him. He just makes a nice move, and the first big play of this game goes for Buffalo.
First down at the 16, and Kelly now from the shotgun. Metzelar's the tight end in motion to block, and it's Thomas running that way. Thurman Thomas, nearly 10. Ken Norton, another tackler. As you look at little Tasker, the choir boy looks, but boy, can he play tough.
In big games, you want big players to make big plays. Watch this stutter draw coming your way. Metzelar's leads on Haley, Excellent pull by Richard, 51. Parker, 74. Bread and butter for the Buffalo offense.
2nd and 1. Oh, Thomas is drilled in the backfield for a loss. Gant coming up. He's that nickel back instead of the linebacker, but it's tough versus the line. And Russell Maryland was there as well. Gant, he's the one you've been reading about that does the shark dance. He said he'll only display it today if he runs one back for a touchdown. Kelly fumbles, and it's right there in the lap of number 69, Will Wolford, the Pro Bowl tackle. Tony Tolbert, 92, or is it Haley, 94?
Haley is the guy who gets the pressure on Will Wolford when Kelly is flush from the pocket slightly. Kelly is right there, Tolbert there, and then Wolford finally gets it between.
Bob, a flag down, and that's all for naught.
Penalized half the distance, 5 yards, first down.
Buffalo gets the break. That's 2 now, as Jimmy Johnson's Cowboys guilty of holding an automatic first down.
You can see the cornerbacks here up in bump and run. That's Brown on Lofton. Yes, a handful of shirts.
And that flag thrown right at 24. Larry Brown, the victim, and it's 1st and goal, Buffalo at the 5. Carwell Gardner comes in as the blocking back. Number 35. It's Thomas for a couple. Robert Jones now in there. Wasn't expected to play much because the Cowboys defense dictated by that hurry-up offense. Jones, a rookie from East Carolina, played very well in his first season in the NFL, was the number 2 tackler for Dallas this year.
But on goal line defense, Dick, you put your 11 best guys in there, and even though he's a rookie, he's one of the 11 best.
Thomas again. He is at the goal line. Touchdown. Thurman Thomas, frustrated last year. Steve Tasker's block punt made it happen.
They run the counter. Wolford with an excellent block. 69. All he's got to do is break the plane of the goal line with the ball. He does clearly.
James Washington then wrestling him back and trying to rip the ball away. But Thomas, helmet and all. Steve Christie adds the extra point. Thomas, who had only 13 yards in the Super Bowl last year, this is his 12th, 13th, and 14th today, and Buffalo leads 7-0. Super Bowl 27 is 5 minutes old, and Buffalo has struck with a quick score, catapulted by the special teams play of Steve Tasker. His block punt setting up the Bills at the 16 of Dallas, and Thurman Thomas did all the work and ran it in from 2. Christie to the 6-yard line. It's Kelvin Martin out to the 28-yard line. Let's go back to the last time the AFC defeated the NFC in the Super Bowl. That was 1984, Super Bowl 18. Jeff Hayes, the punter for the Washington Redskins, and Derek Jensen of the Raiders with the block punt that set up the Raiders for a touchdown, and they went on to a very impressive victory over the Washington Redskins. And here's today.
Here's the punt. You see the overload. Watch the fullback Johnston look over here. Tasker, they kind of forget him, and he comes right up the gut. And I don't think the punter ever sees him, Dick.
From the 28, Aikman to Smith. Slips, gets back to the 28. That's it. Bruce Smith and Cornelius Bennett there to down him.
Dick, the Buffalo Bills are daring the Dallas Cowboys to beat him with Emmett Smith. Bump and run coverage. They've got a lot of people up at the line of scrimmage. They are saying that the league's leading rusher the last 2 years cannot beat us in the Super Bowl.
He's had his hands on the ball 3 times, once on a pass, 2 carries, a total of 1 yard. Over the middle to Novacek, the tight end. He is close to a first down at the 37-yard line. Marcus Patton and Shane Conlon, the tackle on a former Wyoming Cowboy, and a Cowboy he is in Gothenburg, Nebraska.
Watch the way they try to hold the tight end up. That's Patton, 53, trying to hold him up just inside the linebackers, Conlon and Patton. Novacek, this kid is a lot like Keith Jackson in that he who plays for the Dolphins now. He knows defenses. He reads the dead spot of zones. He's not a deep threat, but he's the outlet for Troy Aikman on an awful lot of passes.
Derek Tennell comes in at the other tight end on 3rd and short. And it's Smith. He has the first down near the 40. The Cowboys first of the game. 8:19 left in the opening quarter. Buffalo leads 7-0. Son of a superintendent of an ice cream factory in Port Arthur, Texas, Jimmy Johnson says, my favorite flavor, you'd think anything but vanilla when you meet this man.
I like what Michael Irvin said about it. He was his coach at Miami. He said at Miami, he said, son, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? Here at Dallas, he says, son, what are you doing for me on Sunday?
First down inside the 40. And it's Smith with a flag down. And Smith all the way to the Buffalo 47-yard line. Mark Kelso was the last blue shirt in the way. And now let's check the flag. They'll take it back. Illegal movement on the part of the Cowboys.
And Dick, this is the chance that Buffalo is willing to take. They'll give Emmett
Illegal formation. Offense. Number 71 was not covered. It will be a 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. First down.
Mark Tuanay, the left tackle.
That's a young team that's showing a little bit of nerves. There's no question he should have been covered, but Michael Irvin, the wide receiver, was not on the line of scrimmage. Illegal procedure.
It's really Irvin's penalty and not Tuanay's. Irvin should have been up
That
a
is
yard.
correct, but that's nerves. That's our first Super Bowl.
So instead of a 13-yard gain by Smith, it's now 1st and 15. Bennett after Aikman, and he gets it away to the fullback Daryl Johnston out to the 44-yard line. Talley and Williams on the tackle.
Well, there was some word that Cornelius Bennett may not be completely healthy, but he certainly looks like he's got the biscuits, got all of his speed. You see Emmett Smith there, not only a great rusher, but also an excellent blocker, underrated as a blocker. He does a good job picking up Bennett there.
The biscuit. He loved biscuits with syrup as a kid, and the nickname sticks. Aikman gets away from the rush, incomplete and almost intercepted. Novacek, and it deflected through the hands of Shane Conlon, and it was Bennett again putting on the pressure.
Well, what about that bad hamstring? Bennett with 2 weeks rest. Giesick, 63, he slipped. Well, we've seen a lot of slippage here by players. Aikman, an excellent job of avoiding the rush to get it off. And then as Novacek can't really find Aikman, and Aikman kind of throws it in desperation, incomplete. Lots of pressure here by Buffalo in this series, Dick.
Third wide receiver, Kelvin Martin, comes in. On 3rd and 7, Aikman. Incomplete, and again pressure. This time it was Daryl Talley.
That's 3 plays, 3 blitzes, 2 by Bennett and Daryl Talley. There's no question that Buffalo realizes that Dallas's offense is a timing offense on the pass. They are trying as best they can early to disrupt the timing, and it's working.
Now Mike Saxon, remember the last experience, a negative one for him. They're trying to find Tasker on that line of scrimmage. The return on, and a beautiful kick. It lands in the end zone. Touchback for Buffalo. They lead 7-0. We'll see him at the 20-yard line when we come back. Welcome back to the Rose Bowl. You're looking at the long blonde shocks of hair tucked into the shoulder pads of Mitch Farrat. He suddenly becomes a key player in this Super Bowl drama, has replaced one of the game's best centers, Kent Hull. Hull has injured a knee. He's been taken to the Buffalo dressing room.
Dick, the center on this Buffalo offense, because of the hurry-up, is as important as the quarterback. He makes all the calls for the offensive line. This is a big loss for Buffalo.
The give to Thomas, and he's hit in the backfield as slicing through was Russell Maryland, who was picked #1 by the Cowboys in 1991. Of course, played for Jimmy Johnson at the University of Miami. What tackles they had. Jerome Brown and Russell Maryland. Jimmy Jones is also with the Cowboys, and of course Cortez Kennedy. Wow. Second and long, Thomas slips, and then down he goes at the 19. Tony Casillas, who was acquired by Dallas from Atlanta for a #2 pick and a #8 a couple of years ago. He was a #1 draft pick by the Falcons in '86 out of Oklahoma.
He's calling the doctor about Kent Hull, saying get him fixed and get him out here.
3rd down 11 for Kelly. And flags go down. No play.
Oh, Dick, did you see Haley go over Wolford? Woo! I mean, this is no play, but you're talking about a guy at 250 pounds.
Ball start. Offense #8, simulating the start of a play. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
I think he has his quarterbacks confused. 8 is on the other team. That would be on Kelly.
Watch at the top of the screen. You see the movement, but watch Haley, 94, over 69. That is an all-pro tackle. He's just shoving back there at the feet of Jim Kelly.
Haley, who starred with the 49ers, has a couple Super Bowl rings. Kelly looking deep, and Lofton can't get to it, and a flag goes down, and that could be a penalty against the Cowboys, roughing Kelly. It is.
Leon Lett was in the area.
Lett, who is described by Dave Wannstedt, the defensive coordinator, as the best backup tackle in the league.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, #78, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
So another costly penalty for Dallas. Remember, the touchdown drive required holding by Larry Brown.
You see 77 Jeff Coat in there, and then Lett. I mean, that was foolish. Here's a young man playing in his first Super Bowl, and he wants to leave an impression, but that's not the one you want to leave.
And the referee Dick Hantak standing right there with a flag, so the penalty takes it out to the 29. Kent Hull is back in the game for Buffalo. Kelly to Reed, complete at the 50. James Washington made the tackle. 21-yard play.
I think Buffalo has discovered exactly what kind of defense they're looking at here. Watch the zone. Reed does a good job of looking inside, and of course Kelly, an absolute master at telling the safety, I'm going the other way, and then comes to the near side for a nice completion.
For the first time, we see Kenneth Davis, #23 in the backfield for Thurman Thomas.
Blitz.
The throw intercepted. James Washington. Washington to the fumbles, but out of bounds to Dallas at the 44-yard line. Washington, who played at UCLA, this was his home field in college.
That ball should not have been thrown. Jim Kelly's going to see this blitzer come right in his face to the right. It's Gant 29. He should have just taken the ball down. You saw you saw Metzelaars, the tight end, slip and fall. So Jim Kelly's probably saying he's open, he's open. When he falls down and the pressure comes, turnover.
They're going to mark it at the Buffalo 47. But Washington's interception gives the Dallas Cowboy fans a reason to cheer at the 47. Aikman starting in plus territory for the first time today. Emmett Smith. Down at the 48, Jeff Wright and Henry Jones.
Number 22, Emmett Smith.
Boy, that was good defensive charge by Buffalo. They had won the battle in the trenches on that first down play.
That time they had their corners off, Dick. They were not right up at the line of scrimmage. They're going to look at the interception. There's Gant, the blitzer, right here. And when Kelly sees that blitz coming, best thing to do for him is just take the ball down. Don't take a chance of throwing the football. Washington, wide awake, does make the pick.
2nd and 11. The throw to Smith, almost a lateral, and he's knocked out of bounds for a loss. Back at the 47 of Dallas, Marcus Patton. Another play by the young linebacker from UCLA. There are 7 UCLA players in this game.
Yeah, they played here at the Rose Bowl, but I don't think it ever looked like this when they played USC. Dick, I got to make this comment. Buffalo last year in the Super Bowl changed their defense. They decided this year we're sticking with what we do best, and it's showing in this initial series. Dallas having great difficulty doing what they do well. Corey has done an excellent job with his defense in the initial stages.
3rd down and 17 for Aikman. He goes deep, and a catch at the 33-yard line. Michael Irvin. 20 yards and a Dallas first down. Beautiful throw by Aikman.
This is the double rotation zone. You're going to see Irvin get by, but J.D. Williams allows him to get by. Now Darby's got to protect the inside, but this is perfect timing again by this offense. Aikman, a 5-step drop, throws the ball before the receiver makes the break, and it's there, and the defender can do very little about it.
Irvin, who led the Cowboys with 78 catches this year. On 3rd and 17, a 20-yard pickup. 7-0 Buffalo, under 3 minutes to go, opening quarter. Aikman. Chased by Hanson, and then Marcus Patton comes over. Out of bounds at the 31-yard line on the scramble.
Well, there you can see a difference. Patton, he could have hit him right there at the sideline. Taking a chance with a flag, did the smart thing, and did not do that. Leon Lett got the 15-yard penalty for the Dallas Cowboys. Again, we mentioned that the footing has been a little slip. Whoa, that's the splits. Lots of slips. We even had the kicker for Dallas go in before the game even started and change shoes.
It's a new turf and a little greasy for both sides. 2nd and 8 as Bruce Smith lines up and puts his aim on Troy Aikman. It's Emmett Smith on the draw. First down, I would believe, at the 22 before Talley can tackle him.
Well, that's the play you've got to stop when you play the Dallas Cowboys. It's the lead draw. Offensive lineman show pass. You just turn it loose for Emmett Smith to find the spot. This kid breaks more tackles for a 210-pound running back than anybody who has ever played the game.
Timeout for a measurement.
Well, the Dallas Cowboys rebuilding this team in the last 4 years, and they've had a little luck as well. When they went into the draft in 1990, as you can see, the measurement very close. The spot is closer to the 23, and it is a first down. Smith, they wanted James Francis, the linebacker, in 90, so they traded up from 22nd position to 17. But the Bengals took Francis just before the 17th pick. Emmett Smith was still there, so they said, all right, we'll take the guy from Florida. It was a pretty good piece of luck for him.
You remember what Jimmy Johnson told us that year? He said, I asked him what the highest rated player on the board was, and he said Junior Seau. So he was going for 2 linebackers, had to settle for Emmett Smith.
First down is Garrett Gaynor, a former Raider, replaces Johnston at fullback. Aikman. Novacek touchdown.
Boy, Dick, if you're going to hold the tight end up on some plays, you got to hold him up on every play. He jumps inside Patton, and you can see there's zone coverage there by Buffalo. Nice little out move by Novacek. Free for the score. That was beautifully thrown by Troy Aikman. That is not an easy pass to complete straight up the hash mark.
Try for point by Lynn Elliott. You saw in the pregame show he had trouble with his footing, not on this occasion. Right down the middle, and a flag goes down. Novacek inducted into the University. Oh, it's against Dallas, so they'll have to kick it again. Inducted into the University of Wyoming Athletic Hall of Fame this past week. Novacek, who lives on a big couple thousand acre spread in Nebraska.
You're going to see the face mask grabbed. That's 34 White Tommy Agee at the bottom of the screen. And
Holding. Offense. Number 34. 10-yard penalty. Retry the extra point.
Now this becomes a 30-yard field goal, not automatic. Steve Berline, the backup quarterback, to hold. Elliott, the rookie from Texas Tech, to kick. Just as straight. It's tied at 7.
you're going to see Novacek throw it. See that little out move? He's influencing the safety. Aikman throws it beautifully down the hash for Dallas's first score.
And Lamb wrestled down at the 24. A flag is down.
Number 81, Brad Lamb, takes the kick at the 40-yard line.
And the illegal use of the hands signal that is so common on kick returns. And Buffalo will start deep in its own end. The dean of NFL coaches in age, 64-year-old Marv Levy.
Illegal block. Number 55 during the return. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Mark Maddox with the penalty. And they'll start from the 10-yard line.
See if we can pick up 55 here. Yes, there's a very small area that the kickers are allowed to hit, but then it's got to be in front, and a helmet also comes off too. So things are getting a little excitable out there, Dick.
Rob Awalt working on Cascade, and a fumble caught by Jimmy Jones. A touchdown, Dallas.
Haley got him, Dick.
And Jimmy Jones, recruited by Jimmy Johnson at Miami, picks up the pumpkin and has one of those glorious moments for a lineman, and the touchdown comes in the Super Bowl. Officially on the return as Kelly hit by Haley. A fumble, 2 yards on the fly to Jimmy Jones. Lynn Elliott's try for point. And again, dead center. Dallas strikes quickly late in the first quarter. It's 14-7.
Dick, Dave Wanstead doing a very interesting thing. You're going to see the pressure come from the right side. Kelly not even paying attention to the right side. Haley hits his arm, caught in the air. Jimmy Jones in the end zone.
And Leon Lett, when he looks at the films of this, it went off Lett's helmet, it appeared, right to his teammate Jones.
That's Haley. He normally plays here. Kelly did not identify where Haley was. Most teams, when they play Buffalo, have to identify Bruce Smith. Jim Kelly didn't do his job there. You got to know where Haley is.
And Lett does indeed get an assist on the play. It went from Haley to Lett's helmet into Jones' arms as number 75, Howard Ballard, a Pro Bowl tackle, one of the best in the NFL, just couldn't handle the speed of Haley.
Jimmy Johnson told us the minute that Haley showed up in our training camp, he was our best pass rusher. First practice.
Interception by Washington. 47 yards later, touchdown on the pass from Aikman to Novacek. And first play on the next sequence, fumble Kelly, touchdown Jimmy Jones. 14-7. Lamb again. Brad Lamb to the 30. He fumbles, and it looks to be recovered by Dallas. No signal yet. Oh my, it squirted away. A Cowboy was on the ball, rolled right over it, and Keith Goganis, a rookie linebacker for Buffalo, was able to scoop it up. This was almost disaster number 3.
And watch this ball stripped away by Gant, 29. No doubt he's trying to knock that ball out of Lamb's arm. Goganis does come up with the big recovery.
At this point, it looked like the Cowboy trailing the play. 52, Mickey Pruitt would get it, but Goganis was quicker. Buffalo from its 42. Kent Hull back at center, so it was not a serious injury. You can see now on this audible, he's calling out the signals with Kelly. Kenneth Davis, and he's near the 50-yard line. Davis, who rushed for over 600 yards this year. What a support for Thurman Thomas. In fact, Wanstead, the defensive coordinator of Dallas, saying this is the best 1-2 punch running back he saw all year.
This guy is faster than Thurman Thomas, the offensive lineman. Actually have to tell him to slow down.
2nd and 4. Davis again into Dallas territory, and he plows to the 44. It's a first down with 37 seconds left in the quarter. Dixon Edwards, the tackler.
This is probably not an injury with Thurman Thomas, although he is limping and running something off on the sideline. They do like to alternate, but that looks, I changed my mind. That does look like he's sprained his ankle, a toe, something.
The report now might be a hip injury.
He had a hip pointer and a groin pull in the conference championship game, so trying to run it off as best he can, Dick.
Kelly in no hurry will let the quarter run out. That is the end of the first quarter. All 3 scores on either fumbles, well, and the block punt. Super Bowl 27 would be a high-scoring affair, and the first quarter is an indication that it might just go that way. Never before in the Super Bowl have 2 teams scored more points in the opening period. 21. Thurman Thomas, who scored the Buffalo touchdown, back in the huddle. We open the second quarter. Dick Enberg with Bob Trumpy, with the ball at the Dallas 44-yard line. First down, Buffalo. Kenneth Davis, ready as a backup. He was picked by the Green Bay Packers in the 2nd round in '86. A Plan B selection by Buffalo's Bill Polian. Thomas in motion. Kelly out of the gun. Over the middle to Reed. Reed running freely. Gets a block. Andre Reed to the 4-yard line. Dixon Edwards saved the touchdown.
Dick again. Buffalo empties the backfield. You'll see the matchup. 83 on Gant, 29. And Reed, who's been begging for the football over the last several weeks of the regular season, turns just a little slant pass into a huge play. That's the same play they started the game with, Dick.
From Kutztown of Pennsylvania, 3 catches, 74 yards in the game for Reed. First and goal for the Bills, trying to tie it up. It's Carwell Gardner inside the 2. James Washington and others pulling him back.
That wasn't quite as smooth as they designed it.
Gardner, 232 pounds, didn't carry it much during the season, gained only 166 yards. He, much like Darrell Johnston of Dallas, in there for blocking. And here comes Mitch Farrat, who set a record of sorts himself, a lineman with 3 touchdown passes this year, as he serves as the 3rd tight end in goal line. Anthony Munoz, the great star for Cincinnati, the big tackle, had 2 touchdown catches in a season. Farrat on the left side is eligible, but it's Thurman Thomas to the goal line, and he's not in. They mark it just outside that final stripe. Vincent Smith with a good hit. He played at East Carolina.
Again, you'll see time and time again Buffalo run the counter. Richer 51 pulls, Wolford 69 the backside tackle. You see Carwell Gardner in there with a lead block, and Thurman can't quite get it in the end zone as he limps off.
8 carries, 13 yards for Thomas, and that's not a good picture for Buffalo fans. So it's now Davis on 3rd and goal. Davis. What a tackle by Ken Norton. A KO for Norton.
What a hit. Perfect. Now it's the first big decision by Marv Levy in this game. Elijah Pitts talking to him. Back to Marv Levy.
Ball is about a foot from the goal line.
Norton fired through there, Dick. That was a picture perfect stop. Decision made. Thurman Thomas back in the ball game.
Interestingly, a couple of defensive backs come in for Jimmy Johnson. So they're looking not for a run necessarily here. And Thomas back in the game. And it is a pass. Intercepted. They won't even get the field goal. Thomas Everett with the pick. Kelly with his second pass intercepted. And it didn't look as if it had a chance.
Pete Metzelaars at 6'8" was the primary receiver. You'll see him in the back of the end zone. Kelly never gets it to him. Again, pressure right in his face by Tolbert. Interception, Dallas. Accolades first on the third down. Ken Norton, the 60-minute player. Young man with great speed, hits Kenneth Davis square and stops Buffalo on the third down. And then the interception on fourth.
It really appeared Davis had the momentum and the hole to get in, but Norton denied the touchdown, and then Everett with the interception in the end zone. So Aikman and the Cowboys from the 20. Emmett Smith gets a couple.
Now, Dick, back to the interception. It appears to me that the primary receiver is going to be Gardner. But you see the pressure by Tolbert on Kelly. This is twice now that Jim Kelly, with defenders in his face, has chosen to throw the football. And it's overthrown past Gardner, intercepted by Everett. And a big play for Dallas. They get it out of their 20 and no points Buffalo.
Second down, 8. Aikman looking for Novacek. There he is. And a first down at the 33-yard line. That was one of Bill Walsh's favorite patterns with the 49ers, an arrow pattern, that tight end in, stop, and then back out. Fake delay, they called it in Dallas.
Anytime you can get the tight end on a linebacker and you see Patton allows him to get free, Conlon can't cover Novacek downfield. It just can't. There's going to have to be some combination coverage. They tried to come with a blitz by Patton, and Novacek will eat him up all day long doing that.
Great catches now for the Dallas tight end, who figured to have a busy day. On first down, it's Smith, running a little wider this time, and he's to the 37. Emmett Smith, the leading rusher in the NFL last year and again this year, and Leon Lett with an injured knee being helped off.
That's
got Godfrey Miles, 98.
Well, they've already got Dixon Edwards under defense, 58 with a pulled hamstring, and Godfrey Miles started the game here for him. They can't afford to lose linebackers in this Dallas defense.
Second down and 5.
Aikman beginning to get a little more time to throw, Dick.
Good protection. Now he's forced out of the cut by Hanson. 35-40 and a first down at the 43-yard line.
Well, Troy Aikman's got to go back to the huddle and pat Emmett Smith on the helmet, because you watch what Emmett Smith does here to Cornelius Bennett. That is a superior block, and it allows Aikman just a little more time to look down the field and then scramble for a nice pickup. Watch this again from behind Emmett Smith. That is right into the breadbasket. There are offensive linemen who don't do it that well.
Into the biscuit basket.
The biscuit basket, yes.
On first down, it's Smith. And he's covered again, this time Talley. And the beauty of Emmett Smith's running, and that's why Buffalo's playing as they are, covering all the gaps, because the play may be called for off tackle or guard, but Smith just runs where he sees less of the opposing color.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Nate Newton told us in talking with him, he doesn't want to hear what problems the offensive line is having with the defensive line. Emmett Smith, look, you move him somewhere, I'll do the rest.
Don't think about or tell me where you're going to block your man. Just do something and I'll react to it.
He likes movement from his offensive lineman, and he can read exactly where the holes are.
On 2nd and 10. Aikman, gunning. Intercepted. No, they say it was a trap. Trapped by J.D. Williams as he stole the ball from Michael Irvin. Great reaction to the ball by Williams, who had 2 interceptions this year. He played at Fresno State.
Dick, he really came back on this football. J.D. Williams, one of the fastest corners you'll find in the NFL. He has Darrell Green type speed, and that ball did hit the ground. That's an excellent call by Dick Hancock's crew. He gets back underneath Michael Irvin. It goes through Irvin's hands, and that ball does hit the ground.
Well, that would have been something that would have surprised Cornelius Bennett. Remember, Bennett was calling us, hey, J.D. Williams, he can't even catch the ball as well as me. Give me a chance. Put me in at tight end. Biscuit Bennett, who had always wanted to be a tight end, never had a chance. They recruited him as a tight end at Alabama, but moved him to linebacker as the injured Miles take it into the locker room. Johnson and all the rest of us. Today's plays are tomorrow's football memories, and that play by Ken Norton on the goal line stand will refresh those of you who will recall back in Super Bowl 16, Jack Reynolds hit on big fullback Pete Johnson of Cincinnati. A key play in the 49ers' first Super Bowl win. Aikman and the flat to Novacek, and he carries the tackler Henry Jones with him to the 48-yard line. 4 catches for Novacek.
You're going to see Novacek from off the line of scrimmage, the bump by Jones 20, and then Novacek, he absorbs that. This is that arrow you're talking about, the delay outside, the delay option, just the underneath reception by Novacek. He ran 3 of those in a row against the San Francisco 49ers for about 45 yards.
Good play by Henry Jones to deny the first down, and on 4th down and 4, Saxon to punt. Clifford Hicks back at the Buffalo 13. Fair catch. And Buffalo will have it at their own 15-yard line. 8 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the first half. Cowboys 14, Bills 7.
Dick, the goal line stop that you were talking about. Bengals, San Francisco. The ball to Pete Johnson. Lead blocker Charles Alexander, Archie Reese, Hacksaw Reynolds, Ronnie Lott. Forrest Gregg admitted after that game he outsmarted himself. They had 1st and goal at about the 6. Their best running side was to the left. On 4th down, they went to the right and were stopped.
Ken Norton was there to stop Kenneth Davis. The Bills had 1st and goal at the 4 and couldn't produce any points. Here's Davis out across the 20-yard line. A pickup of about 7 on 1st down. Russell Maryland trailing the play with the tackle.
23, Kenneth Davis.
Well, the one thing that we noticed looking at Russell Maryland is that Dave Wannstedt and the Dallas Cowboys defensive staff have been able to rotate their defensive linemen in and out of the game, Dick, to try to keep them fresh.
On 2nd and 3. Davis again as he twists across the 25, may have the first down. Charles Haley hit him first, and Tony Casillas there to support. It is a first down. 25 yards on 5 carries for Davis, who has been even more productive on the ground in the playoffs than Thurman Thomas. Davis again. And he's to the 33, and nearly an 8-yard pickup. Washington and Haley with a stop.
Well, they've kind of got part of their nickel package in it. You see Maryland's part of the run stopper. Godfrey Miles 58, excuse me, Dixon Edwards 58 kind of lost his footing a little bit there. It was a nice pickup.
2nd and 3. Kelly having trouble getting away, and he is acting as if he's hurt. He got hit right on that bad right knee as Ken Norton came shooting through. And Frank Reich, the miracle maker for the Buffalo Bills, who rallied them from 32 points down, is starting to warm up. And they don't come any tougher at this position, quarterback, than Jim Kelly. He'll only come out if he's really seriously hurt. And it appeared from the way he reacted immediately that Norton got him right on the knee.
Well, this is a strategic blitz. You're going to see what happens here. Norton just picks the right spot. Davis is supposed to pick him up. Watch Jim Kelly's left knee. Dallas not known as a particularly big blitzing football team, but they catch him in a dead spot here. Now we've seen Emmett Smith make that block. Davis's mistake is you got to stay up on the pass rusher. He went down to Norton's legs, and Norton was able to get across Davis to make the hit.
So with 6:52 left in the first half, it appears that Buffalo has lost its starting quarterback.
You see, you try to teach those running backs to stay up to make those pass protection blocks,
or your quarterbacks stay down. Jim Kelly helped off the field. Here comes Reich, their roommates on the road. They work closely together. Kelly, whose mother is watching this game alone in East Brady, Pennsylvania. She didn't want any of her friends or neighbors to be with her. She wants to be able to yell at the television, not hear conversation, and watch the game. He said, if we win, I'm giving the game ball to my mother. Well, Frank Reich will have to win it for him. Reich, an able substitute. And he comes out throwing to his tight end Metzelaars to the 40, and that's a first down. So Reich on 3rd and 3 delivers a pass for a first down.
Now, Dick, if there's a difference between Jim Kelly and Frank Reich, Frank does not seem to throw the ball up for grabs. He stays more within the game plan. Also see him underneath center. Jim Kelly likes and prefers the shotgun.
Play action. Reich complete to Reed. Reed in the open field. To the 22. Kevin Smith with the tackle, and Reich comes out throwing strikes. 38 yards to Reed.
A little half roll by Frank Reich. You see the play action fake it again. Reed right in the middle of this Dallas defense, the zone defense, and at the end of this play, nice little assist by James Lofton.
First down at the 22. The hurry up offense. It's Davis twisting to the 19-yard line. Charles Haley got his mitts on him, and he's got big ones.
If you're going to make big plays, Dick, you hope it at the end of the play that James Lofton can get that block, but then he's doing the right thing. He's not looking back at the receiver. Andre Reed has got to use the block better.
Could have gone left.
Gone left.
Shielded the other way. Kelly will be taken back to the dressing room. 5:21 left in this opening half. 14-7. Dallas leads. Little reverse to Davis. And Davis breaking tackles down to the 12, and he'll be close to a first down. Dixon Edwards, number 58, finally making the stop.
They do so many things on this offense. It's beautifully executed. You saw Thurman Thomas, a tip of the hat, touch of the hand to Davis. Haley stops his play on the outside, so Davis just cuts back. Very gifted runner. When we ask him as a backup sitting on the bench, what do? He says, I have to concentrate before anything else.
It is a first down. Looking for a tying touchdown. Thurman Thomas darting and dancing. Inside the 10 and close to the 6-yard line. Edwards again the tackle as Kelly, like Miles of the Cowboys, back to the X-ray machine.
Coming right at you, Wolford. He logs 92 Tolbert in. And there seems to be a little more urgency now in the running of the Buffalo Bills offense.
4:15 left in the half. 10th play of the drive. Reich. Ooh, Don Beebe, and it's broken up by Larry Brown. And Brown got the left hand in to deny a touchdown.
That was close. Again, you're going to see a little bit of slippage there by Brown. Dick, if he doesn't slip. Beebe did miss it. I thought Brown got his hand in there.
I did too, but from that angle, it appeared that Beebe had a clear shot at a touchdown. Tough catch, but makeable. 3rd and 4. Their last trip down deep in Dallas territory denied on a brilliant goal line stand, and a 4th down interception in the end zone by Thomas Everett. No one in the backfield except Haley. And he's got the wrong color uniform on.
Got that star on his helmet too. It kind of
gives you away, doesn't it?
It does. It's a bad disguise as a Buffalo Bill.
Haley, acquired from the 49ers this year, had 42 quarterback pressures. 42. 6 sacks. That sounds well. Haley seemed better than that.
Offside. Defense, number 94. We will penalize half the distance. Still third down.
I tell you what, I always thought Merlin Olsen's hand was the biggest hand I ever shook until I shook Charles Haley's hand. He has never lifted weights in his life, weighs 251 pounds, and is one of the premier rushers you'll find in the NFL.
Half the distance makes it 3rd and 1 at the 3-yard line. 3 yards from tying this game, this Super Bowl 27 with 4:06 left in the half in front. An eligible receiver. Tight end left. Right for Kelly. Thomas. Stopped in the backfield for a 1-yard loss by Haley. Making amends immediately, Russell Maryland from the other side.
In the conference championship game, the San Francisco 49ers ran 8 of their first 9 plays at Charles Haley. He stopped them all. This guy is not just a pass rusher.
They allow progress to the 3. It's 4th and 1, and Marv Levy says, I don't want to come away empty. 2 trips inside the 5. Steve Christie for a short field goal of 21 yards. But a moral victory for the Cowboys, denying the Buffalo Bills' high-octane attack. Twice inside the 5 to get only 3 points here in the second quarter. It's 14-10. All well know, delivering that greatest ever comeback in NFL history. There are the numbers on the field goal drive as Christie kicks it off. A spinner to the 7. Martin, 15, 25, and 27.
Dick, if we go back to the first play that Reich came in, watch the blitz. Reich is greeted with a blitz, but Reich has certainly been out there enough. He knows how to handle it, stands in there, makes the completion to Pete Metzelaars, and that
was a 3rd and 3, a key throw.
Yeah. This guy is unflappable. This guy, he only takes about 10 or 15% of the snaps in practice. Nothing bothers this guy. He's the Iceman.
His nickname is Chill Factor 14. Heard it right from the source. So with 3:15 left, the Cowboys will try to get those points back. And it's Aikman to Emmett Smith. And Shane Conlon, the closest tackler, along with Darryl Talley.
Trying to find other ways to get Emmett Smith more in the ballgame. He's not had great success running the ball. His longest run was called back because of a penalty. This is the little swing pass out in the flat. Aikman looked down the field first. And then Talley finally catches up to him on the sideline.
A gain of 6. He has 8 carries for 16 yards, 3 catches for 1 yard. Buffalo doing a good job of zeroing in on Emmett Smith. Aikman, Novacek. They haven't been able to stop the tight end, however, and Novacek has another first down. That's his 5th catch.
Well, they started the game holding Novacek up at the line of scrimmage, and Gatton just disregards him. You can't do that. A guy this gifted in a zone coverage, you've got to hold him up at the line of scrimmage. So at least he's not the first priority for the quarterback.
Where's your old number 84? I said, was Bob Trumpy your idol? And he looked me blankly in the eye and said, who? And he was serious.
Oh, I'm sure he was.
Knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Aikman's pass by Darryl Talley. And I'll tell you why he was serious. He has one television station in his cabin there in middle of the Nebraska plains, does Novacek. And he didn't watch TV.
I think we ought to fix that. Darryl Talley hands up. We haven't heard much from Bruce Smith. That's one of the first times we've seen pressure here in the second quarter on Troy Aikman by this Buffalo defense. Hands up. 2-A is the man who is doing the blocking. They're moving Bruce Smith all over the defensive line.
2nd down and 10. Smith. 40. 30. 20-yard line. At the 2-minute timeout. Emmett Smith delivers his biggest run, 38 yards.
Ball carrier, blocker. Johnston does a beautiful job on this lead draw. He folds the legs of Cornelius Bennett. Johnston told us that he comes out of every game just a little bit shorter. Does not mind hitting people.
The longest run allowed by Buffalo all year. That one, 38 yards. First down just inside the Bills' 20. Aikman, touchdown, Michael Irvin. Bob Trumpy, you talked about the rhythm game. Aikman and his receivers, 1, 2, 3, throw, and that was a textbook example of their success.
And that's the change that Norv Turner, the offensive coordinator, has made in this offense. The ball is thrown to the receiver going into the break. They need speed out of the break, and the defender can't stop it. It was beautifully done.
Elliott adds the extra point, and it's 21-10 Cowboys. 72 yards in 5 plays. A 38-yard run by Emmitt Smith, setting up the 19-yard touchdown. Aikman to Irvin. Here it is.
The safety is consumed by Novacek. You'll see the corner gets spun around, and the timing on this is perfect. Now watch the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set, throw. He hadn't even broken yet. When Irvin does, the defender has no chance to stop that. That's why Buffalo needs the bump and run. They need the pressure. And you see Nate Odoms here takes the inside supposedly away from Irvin, then has to spin around. I mean, that ball is 3/4 of the way to Irvin when he makes his break. That's beautifully executed and thrown on target.
And Aikman, as he did throughout the playoffs and the latter part of the year, is perfect. He has not thrown an interception in something like 5 games.
Again, here's the safety consumed by the tight end. That allows the slant to be perfect, and Aikman has a clear shot to throw this, and the safety just sits there waiting for the tight end. And Irvin gets the score.
123rd consecutive pass by Aikman without being picked off. Elliott roots one into the end zone, and Clifford Hicks will take the kneel down at the 20.
Down to the end zone for a touchback.
Dick, Buffalo only being down 21-10. This is not really the prime spot for Frank Reich. I mean, he likes to be down by 31.
Even 32. Reich starts at the 20. 2 for 3 in his first series, replacing the injured Jim Kelly. Thurman Thomas. Drawing a crowd of Cowboys and fumbles. Dallas at the 19. Another turnover, the 4th for the Cowboys. They swarm to the ball so incredibly. This speed burning defense, #1 in the NFL. No one made the Pro Bowl, but look at how they attack the ball carrier from all angles.
Jones, I see Lett, 78, I believe, is the one who strips the ball away. Thurman Thomas is trying to make a big play here, Dick. See if you can see the arm of Leon Lett come in there. There it is, strips the ball away. Who makes the recovery? It looks like
team recovery.
Yes. Now they give it to Jimmy Jones, number 97, but somewhat there, yeah, he does pull it in.
So Jones has had a big day. Touchdown earlier on the fumble by Kelly, and now he gathers in the fumble forced by teammate Leon Lett. Officially the 18-yard line, the spot. Aikman to Irvin again. Touchdown. Thurman Thomas's fumble, perhaps trying to do too much. And one play later, Aikman to Irvin, and that's tough to watch. Irvin, who had caught only one pass the whole half, and suddenly gets two quick ones, both for touchdowns. 19 and now 18 yards. And from 14 to 10 late in this first half, two quick Dallas strikes, and it's 28-10 Cowboys.
Dick, again, Dallas is seeing the corners off, bottom of the screen. You can see J.D. Williams. And Aikman sets and throws on time. And there you see the corner, Williams, Odoms. Now watch this again. This is not a particularly great move. It does stop Williams momentarily, but the ball is already 3/4 of the way there. And then Williams tries to block him out of bounds as opposed to tackling Irvin. And Thurman Thomas sees his mistake turn into a 18-point lead for the Dallas Cowboys.
7 seconds after the fumble recovery, the Cowboys have another touchdown. So they have been opportunistic, 3 of their touchdowns after turnovers. And Buffalo, throughout this year, whenever they have not been able to hang on to the ball, they have suffered. They're in print. 1 drive and 3 turnovers leading to touchdowns. In their 5 losses this year, the Bills gave it away 11 times. When they won 14 times, they took it away 15 times. Jimmy Johnson, he said, don't tell me any jokes. I don't like jokes. Tell me real stories, then I'll see if I'll laugh. He does like Don Rickles, by the way. Kicked by Elliott, too deep to return again by Clifford Hicks. And here comes Reich. Well, he's a man who has shown not only in the NFL but in college that he can come from way back. He's the Silky Sullivan of football. If those of you way back remember that great come from behind thoroughbred. At Maryland, he produced the greatest comeback in collegiate history against University of Miami. And in these playoffs against Houston, down 35-3 in the 3rd quarter, rallied his team to win in Buffalo. 1:36 left in the half. Another fumble on the handoff, and Kenneth Davis able to recover it with Tony Casillas all about him.
Dick, with the sun setting here in Southern California, now this turf is getting a little slicker. Kenneth Davis trying to take the handoff there. You'll see him lose his footing, and he doesn't really clearly get the football. Tony Casillas, 75, almost gets it away from him.
Right over the middle to Reed. That's the one combination that's worked today. Kelly or Reich to Andre Reed. Darren Woodson made the tackle, and for Reed, 123 yards in receptions in this first half. That's the lone bright spot statistically for Buffalo. Seconds ticking away. This is 3rd and 1. And with the snap, there has to be a penalty flag. There is no play. Haley was the man, 94, jumping offside. Was he drawn? Stops the clock with 36 seconds left in the half.
They called Jim Kelly for a head bob early in the game, and it was against Buffalo. Let's see if Hantak calls it the same way.
Former school teacher in St. Louis, Hantak.
Offside. Defense number 94. 5-yard penalty. First down.
They'll take it out to the 34-yard line.
He's trying to get a little head start, but then you can see a 75 on the inside also drawn off.
Haley, though, took the little detour left, but he was committed too much and made contact. The Bills have all 3 of their timeouts left in this half, as Wright going deep for Beebe, intercepted by Larry Brown. The 5th turnover. Brown, who grew up in Los Angeles, went to junior college a couple of years here before migrating to Texas, where he played for TCU. Takes it away from Beebe.
This is excellent coverage. Beebe with great speed, but Brown realizes what's going on. The contact is allowed. And he's there to make the pick. And boy, is this a recurring theme for the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl? Give it away, give it away, give it away again.
Or take it away if you're a Dallas fan. Well done by Larry Brown. They have 2 timeouts left. The Cowboys, 30 seconds remain. Ball at their 28-yard line. And you lead 28-10. Emmett Smith up the middle to the 34-yard line. Bennett and Patton make the tackle.
Hey, Dick, it's not against Jimmy Johnson's nature to try to get one more in the end zone here. He's never comfortable.
Calls a timeout. And talking with Johnson several times this past week, it's interesting. He wears, as you can see on his hand, his championship ring from his college days. That was 1987, University of Miami. But he says that only is the reason he wears it is he was so unhappy about the '86 team. He said was a better team, beaten by Penn State for the national championship. And he said, I'll take that off if I win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and in that game, the Miami Hurricanes had 7 turnovers to Penn State.
He said that just still gnaws at me that that better team didn't win. He could be the only coach to win Super Bowl and national championship. But let me hold of that also, as you Cleveland Browns fans know that the great Paul Brown won at Ohio State at 42 and won 3 NFL championships. But of course, that was before the Super Bowl. 19 seconds. To the 45-yard line to Michael Irvin. And Aikman spends the Cowboys' last timeout. 20 yards on that play.
Dick, he's getting great protection. And again, J.D. Williams off of Michael Irvin. Ball's already in the air. I mean, the Buffalo Bills defensive backs, Dick, are going to have to bump and run for the remainder of this game. To answer your question about why the defensive backs laying off, you need pressure from your up front 3 or 4, the defensive linemen. And we really haven't called Bruce Smith, Jeff Wright, or Bill Hansen getting pressure on Troy Aikman. The pressure's coming from the blitz, the linebackers. So they're laying the corners off a little bit just for protection's sake, Dick.
Need to get the ball down around the 25 to the 30 for a field goal. 12 seconds to go in the half. Emmett Smith with the responsibility. And they stop him at the 40. 4 seconds, and they can't stop the clock as the final second ticks away, and the Dallas Cowboys parlaying 5 turnovers. 3 of those into touchdowns. Jimmy Johnson's youngest team in the NFL playing very maturely and lead 28-10 at the intermission. Half begins as Christie of Buffalo kicks it to the goal line to Kelvin Martin of Dallas. Martin to the 20 and to the 22-yard line. Well, if you're a underdog fan or a fan of Buffalo and trying to figure out how Frank Reich can rally the team, you have to start with, can Buffalo stop Dallas from scoring? That has to take place as well. Here are the official statistics and the turnovers, the obvious call there. As Buffalo actually with more possession time than Dallas. But Dallas using the fumble for a touchdown, scoring back-to-back early, and then using the fumble by Thomas to score back-to-back late in the first half for the 28-10 lead. Can Bruce Smith, Darryl Talley, Cornelius Bennett assert themselves in this second 30-minute period? Emmett Smith, a beautiful piece of running. Looked right, looked left, and went center.
Here's the problem for the Buffalo Bills. The game is now in the hands of Emmitt Smith, just as it was in the conference championship game against San Francisco. They can do anything and everything they can to just wear down the Buffalo defense. This is a very high percentage offense throwing it, and Emmitt Smith might get 20 carries in this second half with this 18-point lead, Dick.
And he'll love every carry. Give it to me 25, 30 times a game, he says. He carried nearly 400 times this year. Smith again, first down and more to the 39-yard line.
And if you're hoping, if you're a Buffalo fan and you're hoping against hope, this young man does not fumble the football. In all the carries he had in the regular season in 1992, just 3 fumbles. He only carries it in his left arm. but he has such arm strength. He has that first finger, Dick, over the point of the football. He protects that thing like it's made of gold.
Only 23 years old. He's already rushed for over 4,000 yards, the youngest ever to accumulate that total in the NFL. And now Aikman to throw. Underneath, Gerald Johnston, the fullback. And he's bulldogged at the 46-yard line, a gain of 7. Cornelius Bennett and James Williams make the tackle. And Johnston, despite all those tough hits he takes and mostly delivers, has not missed a game as a Cowboy out of Syracuse University.
That basically is a run. They throw it to Johnston, but that's a run. That's just to say, we'll still throw it here, but this is Emmett Smith half.
And Emmett Smith, as he comes out of the huddle, has 79 yards rushing for his coach, Jimmy Johnson. He's been running since he first started in Pensacola for the Salvation Army Mini Mikes at age 8. Oh, a surprise to give to Johnston, and it did not fool Cornelius Bennett, 97.
Sometimes as an offensive coordinator, you can outthink yourself. They're trying to take as much pressure off Emmett Smith as they possibly can, but you see the run blitz here by Cornelius Bennett trying to disrupt the offense, trying to strip the ball away from either Johnston or Emmett Smith. That's the only way Buffalo can get back in the game. They've got to come up with turnovers in bunches.
Third down, a short 3. Derek Tennell, second tight end, is in. This is the way Smith likes it, out of the eye. Just give it to me, let me run downhill. But it's Aikman to throw. Wide open is Irvin. 40. 30. Who couldn't have caught that one? No one around Michael Irvin. Mark Kelso finally gets him at the Buffalo 30. 24-yard play.
Again, you see J.D. Williams, number 29, off. Man coverage, excellent break, ball almost there. I mean, this timing, the 5-step drop, you see a lot of quarterbacks, Dick, who look around, look for the receiver, wait till he breaks, then throwing the ball. North Turner, the offensive coordinator, put in the timing throws of the Dallas Cowboys. And Aikman is right on target.
Emmett Smith bursting up the middle to the 23-yard line, a gain of 7 on first down.
Number 22, Emmett Smith.
Well, they've got, you couldn't ask for a better situation if you're Jimmy Johnson. And I think Marv Levy realizes the desperation here. They can throw conservatively, and they have the league's leading rusher in the backfield.
And Johnson tipping his intent off using 2 tight ends now, Tennell and Novacek. 2nd and 3. Emmett again. Inside the 20, and there is a case where the line had pushed Buffalo back 3 yards. Smith, even though he didn't get to full speed, just kind of fell forward to what appears to be close to another first down.
Well, when you drop a game plan, you hope it doesn't work this good. You get a big, strong offensive lineman in Nate Newton pushing Bruce Smith around. And if you can take Bruce Smith out of his pass rush, just make him a run stopper, you've really avoided a big problem. Jim Kelly.
His season over in the first half. His right knee re-injured when hit by Ken Norton. Tough day in Pasadena. As Kelly now can only cheer for his teammates to rally the longest or the greatest comeback ever in Super Bowl history. First down Dallas, only 10 points. Buffalo down by 18, and that was in the first quarter when Denver jumped ahead of Washington 10-0. Then the Skins scored the 35 points in the second quarter on their way to victory. So all of history against the Buffalo Bills, and again the Skins then go on to win 42-10. Denver getting the first 10 points. So Smith 74 yards on his last 6 carries. And the big run for the 8 yards at the end of the first half. Fake Emmett. Aikman with flags down, and another catch by Irvin. J.D. Williams pushing him out of bounds. And a flag thrown at the 8-yard line.
Penalty flags on the field.
And Irvin's reaction that perhaps it might have been called against him.
He wants to catch.
Nope. Holding against Buffalo. but apparently he was ruled out of bounds. There's still some discussion on the far sidelines. Dick Cantat sorting it out.
Looks like it might be on Patton, the linebacker.
Holding. Defense. The penalty is declined. It was a completed pass. We have a first down.
It was Marcus Patton holding up the tight end, but again, a nice roll by Aikman. And does he throw this thing well on the run? Tight spiral. Both feet down, catch made, first down Dallas. They started at their 20. They're working on an 80-yard drive to open the second half.
First and goal at the 7. Emmett Smith out, Daryl Johnston and Derek Gaynor, 236 and 240 pounds respectively, in the backfield behind Aikman. Gaynor, he was almost, or was a part of the trade with the Los Angeles Raiders that sent Alexander Wright at midseason to Los Angeles for a draft pick, and Gaynor, who was around the Raider organization at the time, then became part of the Dallas company. That was a no Gaynor for Derek.
I was waiting for that.
Jimmy Johnson likes him. And block, and a good receiver, good speed. Guess who's back in? Emmett Smith lined up directly behind Aikman on second and goal. Aikman to Novacek, toppled at the 2. Good tackle by Nate Odoms to deny Novacek his second score.
They have Novacek lined up in the backfield. Dick is kind of a, looks like Daryl Johnston. He's just to the left of Troy Aikman. He just runs a little flat. Aikman gets him the ball, and Odoms does get him down before he reaches the goal line.
6 catches for Novacek, who led all NFL tight ends. Interceptions this year, 68 on the season. Now it's Buffalo's chance for a goal line stand. 11th play of this series. Irvin in motion. Aikman all day, and he overshoots Novacek. On the back line, working was Alvin Harper. Field goals, the call for Jimmy Johnson.
That's an easy call.
Leading by 18, the field goal to give Dallas a 3-touchdown lead. Elliott will hit what amounts to an extra point, 20 yards. Well, you can't hit him any closer to center than Elliott has today. No nerves in that rookie. A 3-touchdown lead for the Cowpokes. Just a splash of orange on the horizon as we close out a beautiful Sunday. Not so pretty for the Buffalo Bills. Down by 3 scores. They get their first chance of the second half. Kenneth Davis. And Davis to the 27-yard line. Jim Kelly now rooting for his buddy Frank Reich. He needs some quick scores. Frank Reich, son of a football coach, grew up idolizing the number 12s, Namath and Bradshaw. Fires incomplete to Keith McKellar. Ken Norton was the closest Cowboy.
This Buffalo offense is a hurry-up offense, and you see them huddling here. They're down 31-10. They're trying to collect their thoughts. I think they realize that every time they have the ball, they can only be settling for a touchdown, or it's not going to even come close to catching Dallas here.
Blitz. And a throw by Wright complete to Andre Reed. Reed, who's had a big game, had 65 catches to lead the Bills during the regular season, and Reich just eluded a blindside blitz. James Washington appeared to be.
Dixon Edwards, 58, untouched. I mean, how many times have we seen people free on Buffalo quarterbacks today, Dick?
3rd down and 2. And it's McKellar, the tight end from Jacksonville State of Alabama. His first catch, former basketball star. First down.
They're trying to get the tight end involved here. He runs a little shallow cross. Norton, 51, is the man who makes the tackle, but Dallas is more than happy to give him those receptions, Dick.
Has Norton been a player trying to prove a point? Why isn't he in the Pro Bowl? Out of the backfield to Thomas. A shifty move, and then James Washington gets him a little farther out of bounds in front of the Dallas bench at the 41. No flag.
The swing pass to Thurman Thomas out in the flat. The first read is the receiver downfield. Watch this little move. Gets right around Gant. And they ruled that the hit was legal. There was no flag on that.
Gain of only 1 on the play. Thomas couldn't break the tackle of Dixon Edwards, who started Michigan State. Was a teammate of Percy Snow, a #1 pick of the Kansas City Chiefs.
He's got a big assignment too, covering Thurman Thomas out of the backfield. There aren't many linebackers in the league who have the speed and quickness to do that. Dallas may have two, Norton and Dixon Edwards.
The 2 pass plays to Thurman Thomas, gaining 1 and 4 yards, bringing up 3rd and 5. Right way off the mark to Lofton. Lofton went inside, and Wright threw outside. Apparently Marv Levy at this point not tempted to gamble at his own 45. The #1 defense in the league, the Dallas Cowboys, forcing Buffalo to punt. Kelvin Martin drifting back to his own 15. Chris Moore will punt it to him. An apparent punt formation. Down by 3 touchdowns. A fake would always be considered. Nope. Line drive that Martin lets bounce, and is still returnable. Breaking tackles. Now he's got a chance. Could go all the way, and finally Metzelars, with help from Chris Hale, make the stop. A 43-yard punt, a 30-yard return. Kmart, he says, I don't have any stock, but keeps playing like this, they'll be able to afford some.
Almost looks like Buffalo gives up on the tackle here. He goes into that crowd. When he bounces out, he's looking downfield to make a huge play, almost a blue light special for Kmart.
Year-old Troy Aikman from Henrietta, Oklahoma. Those are Joe Montana numbers that he's posting. That's today. Here are his playoff numbers: 7 touchdowns, no picks, nearly 69% completion.
I'm not sure Montana's ever had a postseason like that.
Oh, yes, he has. First down for Dallas at the 42. 6 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Dallas chewed up 6.5 minutes with their first possession. Emmett Smith breaking tackles. Look at him squirt out of there. They had him for a yard loss. He winds up gaining nearly 3.
And off to Emmett Smith.
He was recruited out of high school by, among other people, Jimmy Johnson to Miami. He said, no, I'm not going to Miami. You don't give it to the running back enough. You throw it. So he went to Florida, where they gave it to him 25, 30 times a ball game, and he always keeps the play alive. He never gives up on a run.
Buffalo has allowed in the last 19 games only 1 man to rush 100 yards. Barry Foster, who led the UFC this year, the big Steeler fullback. Smith about to get 100. Jay Novacek sliding and in traffic, unable to come up with that one. How is Bruce Smith faring? We haven't called his name much.
Well, Mike Ditka talked about it at halftime. Tuanay, the 10-year veteran, he's had help, but in that particular instance, he did an awful good job on Bruce Smith there. Smith has been waiting for a big Super Bowl, yet to see it come true. Mark Tuanay started out with the Dallas Cowboys as a defensive player, then a center, now a tackle.
On 3rd down and 7, Aikman lots of time, and there's the tight end Novacek. First down at the 45 of the Bills. He's good when he doesn't have time.
And he does something that's beyond Troy Aikman's years. Watch his feet. He realizes the first receiver in the LB keeps his feet moving. For young quarterbacks out there, that is absolutely a clinic on how to go to the alternate receiver. Watch his feet. He never really gets anchored into the ground. He's not open. I'll look over here. Feet moving, then I can throw. As long as you move your feet, your hips work like a turret. You can find that outlet receiver. He does, and it's Novacek.
Emmett Smith with 92 yards in the game. Picks up about 5 more to the 40-yard line before Shane Conlon, his wife back home, is expecting any minute, and Phil Hansen collaborate on this side.
Well, you know, there were Buffalo Bills players who were admitting that if they didn't have a good performance in this Super Bowl, they weren't sure they wanted to get off that plane in Buffalo.
There's the confirmation. Foster, the only man to dent this Buffalo defense for 100. And Smith needs 3 more, and he's got the century here in the 3rd quarter. Not many have stopped this talented kid. He's 23 years old. They've got 8 players 23 or younger. 6 are starters. Jim Courier, 22, Australian Open champion, would fit in this group. And it's Smith who will be right close to 100 as he tries the middle of the line on 2nd and 5.
You talk about Emmett Smith. Young man always has a smile on his face. Last off season, went home and lived with mom and dad. That's what kind of kid he is. With all the money he's got and all the celebrity status he possesses, I'm going home to mom and dad.
Well, they run the trading card store that he owns, Sports Trading Cards. He's got, I guess, some of his own cards that moved up to about $50. He said you can get a Bob Trumpy for about 38 cents. So you're moving up too. I mean, that's nice to know. 100 yards for Smith. Yes, squeaked out the 100. 3rd down and 2. Double tight end, and the tight end in motion. Smith hitting the backfield as Conlon and Bennett and Patton. It was Patton who got there first and denied the 1st down.
Jimmy Johnson's not sure he's going to send the punter out here. He maybe feels it. As you see this play run, Patton does an excellent job. Bennett right there to make the stop. But I think Jimmy Johnson is saying, no, this is our game. You're not taking away from us here.
And Emmett Smith might be the first man to rush for 100 yards twice in this same game. He's back to 99.
Well, we're going to try to pull him off sides here, but this speaks volumes about Jimmy Johnson. He doesn't automatically go to the punt.
4th down and 4. Aikman blocked by Patton in the air, incomplete, and the Bills take over on downs. So a good series for Marcus Patton, and even though he's leading by 3 touchdowns, no content in that face.
Absolutely not, and this is not out of character for Jimmy Johnson. He will tell the offensive coordinator on 3rd down, you got 2 shots here. And no matter what happens, he'll give the coordinator 2 chances. This time, it didn't work.
Cowboy office. Jimmy Johnson has a book called Never, Never Quit. He goes for it on 4th and 4. Buffalo's Patton knocks down the pass. And with 2:10 left in the 3rd quarter, the Bills take over at their 38 against a dime defense. Kenneth Davis. He has a 1st down at the 48-yard line. Darren Woodson, the dime back, 6 backs, defensive backs used by the Cowboys, made the stop.
This is the draw run by Buffalo. There aren't a lot of teams who run that out of shotgun, but there's always a puller out in front of these running backs for Buffalo. Nice pickup, Davis.
Davis, who has a business in Dallas. To Reed does right go, and he's cartwheeled down with a 1st down at the 37-yard line as Thomas Everett made the hit.
Boy, hit him right on the kneecap, too. Goodness.
Reed, 144 yards today.
Nice pattern run here by Reed. It's inside. He gets inside Gamble. Watch this hit. Right on the left, right on the right knee.
He stays in, slotted to the right, BB left, Lofton to the near side, draw to Davis, and he's smothered at the 40. Oh, invading was Charles Haley, 94.
Yeah, see, Andre Reed still limping.
One minute left in the 3rd quarter.
On the last play, see, he's favoring his right leg there.
2nd down, make it a 3-yard loss, 2nd and 13. Reich under a blitz to Davis, and he's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Dixon Edwards.
I want to repeat it. Part of the great part of this Dallas Cowboy defense is that they have not one but two linebackers who can cover running backs out of the backfield. And they come with a blitz. Haley, not really a blitz, but just good pressure. Dixon Edwards right there to cover the running back.
Edwards and Norton both run in the 4.5s, the 40. Now they can run with most backs. It is acknowledged, this Dallas defense, as the fastest in the league. Final seconds of the third period. A big 3rd and 13 for Buffalo Bills. Reich. I think he crossed the line of scrimmage. He throws to Don Beebe. No flag down. It'll be a touchdown, Buffalo. 40 yards to Beebe. That was right, and Jimmy Jones and some of his coaches screaming at the officials. Beebe's first catch of the day, a 40-yard touchdown.
You can see Frank is trying to play traffic cop, telling Beebe to get open, get down there, clear out, do something, give me somebody to go to. And he finds it in the end zone, 40 yards. This will be easy to figure out because that ball was snapped right on the yard marker.
Extra point by Christie. The final play of the third quarter. Don Beebe on 3rd and 14 with a 40-yard touchdown. As he was at the 39. We'll be back after these messages from your local station. Growing up in the Chicago area, said at Super Bowl Sundays, halftime after the game, they'd go out and emulate their hero. Told me his dream was today he'd catch the winning touchdown, 10 seconds to go, 50 yards. Well, he's got a 40-yarder. We open the fourth quarter with a kickoff, 31-17 Dallas. The Cowboys have not coughed up the ball today, and what a hit made by Mark Maddox from Northern Michigan. Now back to the touchdown and a break for Buffalo. Jimmy Johnson was right in front of the play. That's the 40 right there, he says.
That's hard to miss, ladies and gentlemen.
Break of the day for Buffalo, a team that desperately needed some help. It's still a 2-touchdown deficit. Buffalo scored 14 points in the quarter 10 times during the regular season. But first, the defense has to stop Dallas. A full quarter to go. Aikman. Plenty of time again. Look at him run at the 42-yard line. A 22-yard scramble. He went into the slide, so they'll spot it where the ball was. When he made the slides, it's 21 yards.
There was not great pressure on Aikman. Look how many people he's looking at to try to throw it to. There's Novacek. He's open. He doesn't throw it to him. Fakes 97 Bennett off the ground. And he played some baseball when he was a kid, so he's got some decent speed. Shortstop out here on the West Coast.
Right. He was recruited as a baseball player, as a catcher, UCLA. Jay Schrader, also a UCLA product, went into the minor league organization of the Blue Jays as a catcher. Apparently, Aikman made the right choice. Smith reversing and following the ball, and who should recover it? Does Aikman do anything wrong?
Not in postseason. No. That's only the 4th time that young man has fumbled, all of 1992 and 1993. They run away from Bruce Smith, and Emmett tries to make a big play, stripped away.
Bruce Smith
and
Aikman. Aikman's making the plays. Well, the majority of the MVP awards in the Super Bowl have gone to quarterbacks, and it's going to be tough to beat Aikman. He's throwing, he's running, and he's recovering fumbles. But it is 2nd and 22 Dallas. Kelvin Martin, the 3rd wide receiver, slotted left. The quickie to Smith, and a good sure tackle by Cornelius Bennett.
Just the circle pattern run by Emmett Smith. Again, Dallas taking no chance with these low percentage passes.
I'd like to go back to Novacek. He's used in motion a lot that keeps him away from being bumped and all. And Bill Walsh in his book said that you, Bob Trumpy, because you made a mistake and lined up on the wrong side, actually started that whole process. When you quickly shifted to correct your mistake, Walsh said, it created chaos. He said, I'm going to put this in.
Yeah, we had to call the league office to find out what the rules were on that.
Now everyone uses it. Third down, 19. Aikman to Smith. To the 40. Gets a block. To the 50. And falls near first down territory at the 49. He'll be short by a yard. 4th and 1. And will Johnson go for it here with a 2-touchdown lead? He's thinking.
He already did it once. Nice move by Emmett Smith. They're going to measure first, so they give him a little chance to think about it here. But the way his defense is playing, again, Aikman has all kinds of time. He keeps his feet moving. Watch this move. Emmett Smith on Darryl Talley. Talley, one of the best tacklers you'll find in the league. And then Emmett on the other end, after the juke and the jive, he puts his shoulder down and plays fullback.
With a 2-touchdown lead, 12 minutes, 2 seconds left in a game. The NFL coaching fraternity would vote almost unanimously the play is to punt the ball. Don't take a chance. Don't give the opposition a chance. If you fail, they have the ball at midfield. Let's see what Johnson does. Yes, Saxon comes on. Meanwhile, Emmett Smith with 111 yards total today. He's lost some yardage with that fumble, so he's down to 87 yards rushing and 24 receiving. Mike Saxon, who attended San Diego State to the south, he said when they were 1-15, part of the excitement of a bad season was, I wonder who will be in the locker next to me this week.
Buffalo needs Steve Tasker on this play, Dick.
He floats it high. Fair catch called by Clifford Hicks. And does he recover his mistake? Yes. At the 12-yard line. So Buffalo's ball at the 12. They trail by 14. 11:46 left. Leading 31-17. Buffalo starts from its 12-yard line with Bob Trumpy, Dick Enberg, Jim Kelly. Lots to think about. And Frank Reich, a man who has delivered from behind, tries to rally the Bills. There is time. The Bills, as you can see from that graphic, a team that can score in a hurry. Thurman Thomas smothered by Russell Maryland as he was stopped in the middle, tried to find a new route, and Maryland was there. Cowboys using 4 down linemen, 1 linebacker Norton, and 6 defensive backs.
And of course, the Buffalo Bills, this is a hurry-up offense. They got to go to another speed.
Thurman Thomas with only 19 yards rushing today. He had only 13 yards rushing last year. Frank Reich throwing that one away. Andre Reed well covered by James Washington.
Buffalo has had great difficulty getting the ball to James Lofton. They've not gotten the ball on a regular basis to the tight end. The one guy that's caught the ball is Andre Reed. You would think that there'd be a way that they could spread it around a little bit. Andre Reed appears to be all right, not limping.
Yeah, with the 6 DBs now, they're doubling Reed, I would think.
So it's the inside, it's the underneath that works.
3rd and 10. Good protection. Right downfield to Lofton. He was open, but he misses. Lofton was wide open that time. So 3 and out. They didn't spend much time. About a minute.
You can see the double coverage. Isaac Holt up at the line of scrimmage, number 30. Smith bites on the fake inside. The veteran Lofton says, come on, Frank, get me the ball. Frank knows the mistake he's made. The problem is the backup quarterback for Buffalo doesn't take a lot of snaps during the week.
Chris Moore with a full field to kick it to. A high arching kick to the 40. Kelvin Martin. And he slips down at the 43-yard line, and to cover him, Marcus Patton. 50 straight feet since the Raiders defeated Washington in '84. And the Cowboys with a 2-touchdown lead. Aikman now delivering 13 out of 17 on the short stuff and 7 and 11 in the intermediate. With no interceptions. And he gives it to Smith. He gambles for 12. Nate Odoms makes the stop.
What a weapon this young man is. He'll make the tough yards for you. This is excellent blocking by the offensive line. You see the GTE Academic All-American Stepnoski just push the inside linebacker away. Emmett Smith makes the cut behind it. Oh, this Dallas team is going to be playing at this level for a lot of years. This is a young football team with a very good coaching staff.
Smith trying to get to the 100 mark again. 2 away. And he'll go behind 2 and A, but it's Aikman with the ball, and he's going deep. Harper wide open, touchdown! His first catch of the day. Alvin Harper from Tennessee. They used to call him Friday Light, because he only made his big catches in Friday practice, but after San Francisco and now today, they'll call him what he wants to be called, Highlight.
Beautifully thrown again by Aikman. I think I hear in the distant background Andy Don Meredith somewhere. I hear a voice, you know.
An old cowboy, they can really croon.
Yeah, it's a song. I can't quite remember the words.
Especially in games like this. Lynn Elliott has the extra point. A 45-yard toss. Aikman to Harper. 4 touchdown throws now for Troy Aikman.
Harper had the big catch in the conference championship game. It didn't go for a touchdown, but it was a backbreaker against the 49ers. And his first catch of the day goes for the distance, and I also like the dunk.
Well, he's a 7'2" high jumper, a former SEC champion. He can get it over the bar. Aikman 22 for 30 and 4 touchdown throws. 15, and they all but ran Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones out of Big D. What a job they've done. And the kick by Elliott again deep enough that Hicks can't return. Right now, in the impossible situation, has to take a big hit from the backside. Jimmy Jones, the earlier touchdown maker. Boy, the breakdown in the receptions for Buffalo, as you see the Jones pressure again. He just that could have almost gone a penalty.
Yes,
to throw it away.
Very close to intentional grounding.
Andre Reed has 7 catches for 145 yards. The rest of the Bills have 8 catches, 63 yards.
And when this offense functions, Buffalo's offense functions, they'll have 6 and 7 guys catching passes.
2nd and 10. Intercepted by Thomas Everett. Everett denied a touchdown at the 7 by Kenneth Davis. His 2nd interception. The Cowboys go to work again.
Well, I mean, Frank Reich is in the situation where every down he's got to get positive yards. I don't know that he ever sees Everett. The intended receiver is Lofton. And on the sideline, Jerry Jones.
The former star on the unbeaten Arkansas 1964 national champions. He and Jimmy Johnson were teammates for Frank Broyles. You know, those relationships that start in college dormitories and wind up at the Super Bowl. Most turnovers all year by Buffalo, number 6. Novacek doing the Trumpian motion. Emmett Smith corralled at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard loss as Henry Jones comes up from safety, and Nate Odoms helps him out with Cornelius Bennett.
Well, you can't forget, too, that Buffalo started this football game with all the emotion. I mean, they were doing a great job defensively, moving the ball offensively, and Dallas took them right out of the game. Maybe it's the injury to Kent Hull that affected that. He came back with his knee tape, and they couldn't really do much, and then Kelly gets hurt.
Meanwhile, Troy Aikman on the doorstep of tying a Super Bowl record. He has 4 touchdown passes. 5 would tie Joe Montana. He's going for it. And hauled down from behind. Good coverage by the Bills. Bruce Smith, showing his incredible speed at 275 pounds, drags him down for a sack.
That's the first time Bruce Smith has even been close to Troy Aikman today.
Joe Montana, number 14, has 5 throws. Bradshaw with 4. Doug Williams for the Skins, and now Aikman. None of those above him were his idol growing up. He said, I can hardly explain why, but it was Vince Ferragamo. He said, I remember the Super Bowl here at the Rose Bowl, 79 season. Ferragamo was the Rams quarterback, and they were defeated the Steelers, winning their 4th Super Bowl. 3rd and goal from the 10, and a draw to Smith. And he's in. What a run. Oh, my. Seeing the Cowboys rack up another. Emmett Smith makes it 44-17 on a dazzling run. 3 different Bills had a shot at him. Lynn Elliott.
One of the things about Everett makes the interception. He was an acquisition from the Pittsburgh Steelers who's turned out good. One of the things that was talked about with Emmitt Smith was that he really didn't have great speed. Would he work in the NFL? Well, you don't need outstanding speed if you have the kind of acceleration and leg strength that Emmitt Smith possesses.
He has the ball. He'll take the ball home. He collects all touchdowns.
Now watch the acceleration here. Just a simple draw. He runs through the arm tackle of Jeff Wright, through the arm tackle of Kelso, through the arm tackle of Darby to score.
When he was a youngster, his father, who played semi-pro ball at the age of 43 in Pensacola, as you see, Aikman helped the officials. He dazzled in the end zone. His dad didn't like it. He said, I don't want you to do that or you don't play. Just carry the ball, bring it home. That's one. So he'd been bringing a lot of footballs home. He said, there it goes. He said, when he played for those mini-mites, the Salvation Army at age 8, I said, well, how'd you do in your first game? He looked at me as if, am I crazy? Scored touchdowns.
Sure.
Scored touchdowns. There they are. Mark it up.
Yeah. They need a bigger.
Yeah, they're going to need another suitcase.
Yeah. And if you're going to put away every football that Emmitt Smith crosses the goal line with, you're going to need a warehouse before this kid's career is done.
Now the NFC is rubbing the AFC's nose in the dirt again. 45-17. Clifford Hicks will take it at the 20. Does that sound like a replay? Reed individually, he'll go home having a big Super Bowl, better than his previous 2. Norton and Maryland make the tackle. 8 catches, over 150 yards for Andre. Mitch Farad is playing center. Kent Hull is out again. I guess Hull got hurt, tried to play, really wasn't himself. That was key.
I didn't mean to interrupt, Dick, but coming into this ball game, Dallas's major concern was how was their defense going to do against the hurry-up offense. They shouldn't have worried. This
Ball
defense.
start prior to the snap on the offense, number 51. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Jim Richer, the veteran Bill, 204th game, a Buffalo record.
Anyway, this Dallas defense under Jimmy Johnson, Dave Wanstead, who becomes the Chicago Bears football coach.
There's Wanstead on lower right
with the mustache.
Looks like Bill Cowher, the Pittsburgh coach, a little bit, doesn't he?
And Ditka likes it. What kind of a guy is this, right?
Reich. Still free. That's Norton. Who else? Give him a touchdown. He deserves it. Ken Norton. The 3rd time in this game, the Cowboys have scored 2 touchdowns in seconds. The Super Bowl party was supposed to be before and after, not during the game.
I don't think Dallas got that memo. Ken Norton Jr.
Took them 41 seconds to score these 2 touchdowns. First half, if you're just joining us, they scored back-to-back touchdowns. First and 15 seconds in the first quarter, 18 seconds apart in the second period.
Mitch Barrett was at center there on that long snap, on that shotgun snap.
We're approaching the highest score in Super Bowl history as Elliott makes it 52-17.
Well, the day started out so positively for the Buffalo Bills, but now it's gone to this. Barrett at center replacing Hall. Over Reich's head. And Ken Norton Jr. There's going to be 2 Ken Nortons who are world champions. His dad, formerly as a boxer, and now son in the NFL.
And Frank Reich. That picture says it all. And back to the first half. This was the play of the game in my mind. Davis had a hole. It appeared he'd go in with his power. Ken Norton came up to make the stuffing hit at the 1-foot line. That was a 3rd down play. Buffalo wound up not scoring. The 4th down pass was intercepted. And Norton KOing the Buffalo Bills. And he gets a touchdown to boot. Norton, when no member of this top defense in the league didn't make the Pro Bowl, said, "We have no Pro Bowlers on defense, but we have 11+ Super Bowlers, and now 11+ Super Bowl champions." And boy, is he going to draw some notoriety. This is a record for most points by 2 teams, and Dallas is a touchdown away from breaking San Francisco's record for most in 1 game. Clifford Hicks does get a chance to run one out. They shirt tail him at the 24-yard line. The 49ers scored 55 against Denver in 1990, so Dallas 3 away from that. Now they're starting to celebrate already in Texas. They're the most points by a single team in the Super Bowl.
Well, and you consider, too, that 70,000 people showed up for that pep rally down in Dallas. I don't know how many are going to be there for this triumphant return of the Dallas Cowboys. I do hope Jerry Jones has one of those cheap sport coats on. He's known to wear a very expensive sport coats. I think it's going to get wet.
Steve Tasker, and he fumbles. Not another. Even the hardiest Dallas fan. Not another against Buffalo. Who's got this one? Tasker running in the open field at the 44. Has it stripped away. No signal yet. Dick Hantack perhaps looking at that one with his heart.
First down.
There you got it.
Marv Levy grew up in Chicago as a Joe Louis fan, so he enjoyed wins, and a Chicago Cubs fan, so he know how to take the losses.
Well, you see the hit from behind. It was by Leon Lett. Strips the ball away. And the big cat with the big arm on Tasker. And the ball back in the hands of Dallas. Do we see Berline? Is Aikman done for the day?
Just a moment back to Lett, who played at Emporia State of Kansas. They didn't know who to take in a late round, as Berline does take over in the 7th round. He said, well, there's this kid. He can run the length of the court, dribble it, and dunk it, take him. And it was Lett. Now they feel he's second to no one as a backup tackle. Berline handing off to Derek Gaynor. And Gaynor from Florida A&M gets a couple of yards. And an ignominious mark for the Buffalo Bills. They've tied Denver. 8 turnovers.
They are in the record book a bunch, but all on the wrong side of the page. Finally a smile. You know, you got to root for this kid. He originally was going to go to Oklahoma, and the coaching staff there said, we're bringing Keith Jackson in. We're going to throw the ball. They both signed and they decide to go with a wishbone. Then he transfers out and goes back to UCLA. So his college career started tough. It's certainly taken a turn for the better.
Fumbled by Gaynor on the handoff, and Phil Hansen of Buffalo recovers at the 47-yard line. Well, Gaynor unable to hang on to the handoff from Berline, and that's the first mistake by Dallas today.
It's the lead draw. He never really got it. It's not on Berline. It looked like Gaynor never really got a hold of the football.
Well, Berline will be able to go to the sidelines and talk to Aikman. Aikman has about 6 minutes 15 seconds to prepare his speech in accepting the Most Valuable Player award.
And Jimmy Johnson's going to have a new ring. By the way, do you realize that Emmett Smith is yet to be signed by the Dallas Cowboys? Now, Jerry Jones doesn't think that's a big problem, but
the throw to Davis. Moves to the 49-yard line, a short gain. The Pete Rozelle trophy it is. Named after Pete Rozelle, knew one thing very well. Two things, football and television.
Yes.
Reich to Tasker, a one-handed catch by Tasker, who made only 2 receptions all season. He's a special teamer, but a good receiver, and he's got 2 catches today.
As a matter of fact, both quarterbacks, Kelly and Reich, told us early in the season that he runs the best patterns of all the receivers that Buffalo has.
Played for Benny Green at Northwestern. And offside is Casillas. Was he drawn off?
And you notice that Frank Reich has gone out and up underneath Mitch Farrat. They're not trying the shotgun snap anymore. He's taking it right from the center.
Encroachment. Defense made contact with the offensive line prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
As if things weren't tough enough for Buffalo, Andre Reed, their top receiver, their top producer of yards today, with ice on his calf.
Well, you can feel nothing but sympathy for Marv Levy and his coaching staff, you know.
Wright goes long, and Everett, almost with a hat trick, was close to his 3rd interception. Well, no one has lost 3 Super Bowl games in succession. In fact, the Buffalo Bills are only the 2nd team in history to qualify for 3 straight Super Bowls. The Miami Dolphins of the early '70s, Don Shula's team, but they won 2 of 3, and one of those completed the perfect season 20 seasons ago.
So well supported up there in Western New York. That is a special group of people up there. They fight the wind, they fight the cold, and there's hundreds of them for the quarterback club in the touchdown meeting, but they just want that Super Bowl.
Tasker, a pass thrown behind him. 2nd down and 6. The President of the United States mother is a guest of Mr. Ralph Wilson, the Buffalo owner, to the right, trying to keep spirits up. Virginia Kelly, she said she's rooting for Jim Kelly, even though his name is spelled incorrectly. And of course, Jim lost in the 2nd quarter when hit by Norton. Ralph Wilson, there's a quality owner. I mean, he's been with this Buffalo Bills team for 33 years, since the old AFL days. He spent the big dollars to keep this team going, and the acquisition of Kelly was really the turning point. Right down the sidelines, and Lofton unable to catch it. Some fans thought that Horton might have used some extra hands, but perhaps not catchable anyway.
Yeah, you mentioned Ralph Wilson. Yeah, Jerry Jones on the other side. He is the new breed of owner. He is willing to invest the money.
This was '64 when Arkansas undefeated national champions. Look at that face. And he played in the line. And we'll show you Jimmy Johnson too. There's the modern version. He told us, I said, well, when was the low mark? He said, well, the low mark, 1-14, and we played our last game 4 years ago on Christmas Eve, a day of celebration and warmth. I'll give you the rest of it after this play. 4th down and 6, and Reich fumbles, picked up by Leon Lett. Can he go all the way? It's a 60-yard run. He's being chased by Beebe. Watch out. Did he get across? No, they are not. That's going to be a touchback to Buffalo.
There's no call yet, though.
He has not marked touchdown. It was knocked out of his hands and went out of bounds in the end zone, which would give it to Buffalo at the 20. And look at Lett. If they call that a no touchdown, he's going to dig a hole and crawl out of this place from there.
He's going to need a big hole. They have not made the call yet. Was it knocked out of his hand before? There's Leon.
He celebrated too soon.
No, that's Jeffco. He's the guy who made the hit. Leon Lett's still lying in the end zone.
Now he's on his feet. And the call by hand
The
touch.
play has been ruled as a fumble in the field of play. The fumble went forward through the end zone and out of the end zone, creating a touchback. Buffalo's ball, 1st and 10.
Leon Lett would have scored, but he slowed down to celebrate at the 5-yard line, and when he did, Don Beebe, hustling, stripped it away.
Beebe is the fastest Buffalo Bill.
And Lett, if he had just run all the way, would have had the touchdowns. He's already celebrating, and Beebe stole it away. Boy, that was a close call right at the goal line.
Yes, it was. Leon Lett, he's kind of acting like, where'd he come from? The sideline? He couldn't have caught me.
In fairness to Lett, he might have made it from that angle. It looks like the ball might have hit the goal line, but such a tough call. And the officials trying to keep up with all that speed. And that would have made it 59-17. Another turnover.
What a way to learn a lesson.
So Jimmy Johnson will not only have a victory in the Super Bowl to celebrate, but already material with which to coach next year.
You got to finish your Jerry Jones story. That is a great story, Dick.
All right, even though Reich has the ball at the 20. And incomplete to Tasker. Well, anyways, 1 and 14. Christmas Eve. Jones says a day of celebration. If you could celebrate. We got 50,000 coming out to play Green Bay at Texas Stadium, and I get a call. It's so cold that all of the toilets at Texas Stadium are frozen. Frozen. That's how I start Christmas Eve day. And then we lose to Green Bay 1 and 15. So that was the low point. We asked Jimmy Johnson, how about you? Was that the low point, 1 and 15? He said, he didn't want to admit there was a low point. He said, well, my toilet was frozen at home too. He said, I was in Jamaica 3 hours later after the game. He said, I didn't even go home. After the game, 1 and 15, I was to the airport, to Miami, and to Nassau.
This gentleman, this Jimmy Johnson is absolutely created such positive vibes, not only here but at the University of Miami. I mean, he did something at the University of Miami that few coaches can do. When Miami Hurricanes play in, there's Jimmy. We all wore short haircuts back then.
Jimmy Johnson then will really be part of sports trivia, won't he? Member of an unbeaten national champion as a player, starter, and all-conference player. He made all-decade in the Southwest Conference and wins a national championship at Miami and a Super Bowl title. That's a pretty good package.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to define winners, that's not too bad.
I was going to say, too, when the Miami Hurricanes play in a bowl game, I mean, the ex-Miami Hurricanes they just travel everywhere to be with that football team. It's such a close-knit group. And this team here in Dallas now, he has attracted some of the old spirit that the Dallas Cowboys used to have under Tom Landry.
Offense, number 69, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down, 2nd down.
You saw Michael Irvin just a moment ago. Irvin with his touchdowns today. He was not drafted by the Johnson Jones team. That was the old Tom Landry and Tex Schramm, and you know, that's a bittersweet day for those old Cowboys. Gil Brandt, I mean, they had their high and America's team, and then it fell to a low. And a lot of folks were upset about how Landry was dismissed, but Jerry Jones came in with a plan. And the plan was to do what we're seeing today. And maybe it is my hope that all the fences will be mended. Jerry Jones continues to pursue Tom Landry. He wants him to be up on their Ring of Honor, and Landry has refused. But Jones is a salesman. Maybe he can convince Coach Tom that can happen.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned Michael Irvin. We were told he's one of 17 kids, and everybody wants to go to the Super Bowl. Michael gave his wife about 10 tickets in the checkbook and said, get the family here. I don't want to know how much it costs. Get them all here. And they just saw big or little brother win the world championship.
Davis, who's going to have a tough job, who caught that ball. He has an auto shop in Dallas, and Harvey Martin, the ex-Cowboy, is one of his customers. And he said, boy, what I want to do is win out here, win the Super Bowl, and then go back and have some of my customers come in. Well, you know Harvey Martin's going to be there, and not in the circumstances that Davis had hoped. And there's Emmett Smith with that great smile, and Michael Irvin, if we could see the other side, might even be smiling through tears.
Absolutely. What a performance by both of those individuals, not just today, but throughout the season. League's leading rusher and league's leading receiver.
DB, that should be good enough for a first down, and hiding their faces on the other sideline. You know, I sensed around the country, Bob Trumpy, a real empathy toward the Buffalo Bills from the fans who didn't care. I mean, they're the true die-hard Buffalo Bills fans and those who, hey, Dallas Cowboys all the way. But in between, there is a lot of empathy toward Buffalo. They hated the thought of a team having to come here 3 times and lose 3 times. Metzelaars, but not only beaten again, but
I wonder what effect losing for the 3rd time has on the near future of this franchise.
Something to ponder. Meanwhile, Buffalo trying to get a cosmetic score here at the end of the game. Kenneth Davis wheeling down. Actually, you know, when they total up the numbers, Kenneth Davis at least can show his grandchildren that he did some productive running in the Super Bowl. 72 yards for him. Yeah, the combination of Jones and Johnson is enviable around much of the NFL because there's no one in between.
Absolutely. And the other thing is that Jimmy Johnson, who's in charge of the draft, Jerry Jones kind of does a little inventory with the guy's character, but there's Emmett messing up Jimmy Johnson's hair. You can only do that when you win the World Championship.
No, I don't think that even works in the playoffs. That's a one-time only right there.
That's a World Championship.
That's a picture to hang on the wall.
Yes, it is.
That'll make all the late newscasts. Incomplete. The pass to Lofton, a little late getting there.
That's incomplete.
And, you know, when you're going this good, only the owner can touch you afterward. You got to straighten it out. Roommates in college, owner and head coach. And they've gone from the lows, the absolute lows in Dallas. 1-15, and here they are. 4 years. That's a remarkable.
And 2 or 3 years ago, they'd have, Jimmy told us that he'd take 8 or 9 guys in every Monday, time a few of them, see if they could tackle, and get them out and bring 8 or more in the next week.
45 seconds to go, and it'll be interesting to get Jimmy Johnson's remarks, and Jerry Jones will have him the post game, the stars, and those who are disappointed in this game. Jimmy Johnson's team can start writing their own book now. The flow is more than psychological, isn't it? They've just acted out pro football's optimal experience.
Oh, James Lofton
with a chance for 6, the 36-year-old oldest man in this game.
He has no catches, and that would have been for a touchdown.
20 seconds to go, and Wright goes down. Leon Lett, who will have a lot to talk about on the way home. 17 seconds. So the son of an ice cream supervisor wins the Super Bowl, and it'll be vanilla tonight on the house.
And lots of it. What a performance by this young Dallas Cowboy football team.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17. The first coach to win the National Collegiate Championship title and the Super Bowl. Jimmy Johnson, age 49. And Mama and Papa down there in Port Arthur, Texas,